Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys my October favorites, but as you can tell from the title, this is not an October beauty favorites. This is going to be an October gore or special effects favorites, since October was the month of Halloween and my entire channel throughout October was filled with special effects and Halloween tutorials. I just decided to show you guys a Halloween favorites video. If you want to take in and keep in mind for next year, that's perfectly fine, or if you're after Halloween started to really enjoy special effects makeup and Halloween types of makeup, then you want to kind of grow your kit or start beginning to actually do this on like your own time as a hobby or get into it as a career. These are some great things that I just love to use and use constantly. Keep in mind that this is not a special effects starter kit. This is just add-ons to your kit or to things that you might want to get, or just a bunch of things that are really great that I find very useful and I find that I use quite often when doing special effects or body painting or Halloween stuff. So if you guys want to see this, keep on watching. Let's start off with the very most basic thing that is obviously of favorites. This is liquid latex. This is the Fun World liquid latex. I get this off of Amazon for like $9 for 16 ounces. It's great. It lasts me quite a long time. Although it can have somewhat of a strong smell, it doesn't bother me, although it might bother you. So there are other brands of liquid latex that you can look into that will have less of that ammonia smell. It's really cheap and it lasts a long time. You get a decent sized big bottle of it and it works. And I will definitely have everything linked in the description box if you want to check these out and order them online. Now for something that's a little bit more for molding but very, very beginner, I suggest something like Model Magic. It's great. You can create things like actual small, simple prosthetics, and you can create them and mold them straight onto your face. Like, I think Jordan Hans has used it before. There's another YouTuber, I can't remember who, but I've seen this on like 2 channels where they use this stuff to create small prosthetics and simple prosthetics on their face. But also what I like to use this stuff for is to create quick and easy teeth if you need to create some type of monster look, or to create horns, unicorn horns, demon horns, devil horns. They're great. It's really, really inexpensive. It's a very, very lightweight air drying foam feeling like clay almost, so it's great. You can get this at like Michael's, you can get it at any craft store pretty much, so this is why I really, really like this stuff. This is Spirit Gum by Rubies. Once again, got this off of Amazon. This is an adhesive that you apply to your skin and then you tap it out, and when it starts to get stringy, you'll feel it starts to get tacky, and this is when you can adhere something to your skin as prosthetics or nose and scar wax. You can teeth, little things like that, and you can tell it's just gonna stick there. Now it's not going anywhere, and it's a very good adhesive for beginners. You can find it for quite inexpensive in a lot of different places, so that's why I really, really like Spirit Gum. And this one's by Rubies, which I personally feel is very good, although it's quite inexpensive. It's off like Amazon, but it's still pretty good quality. The next thing I want to get into are a couple of blood choices. If you're starting off, I would suggest, well, no matter what, I would highly suggest Benign Dark Blood. If you're starting off, you can get something like a small bottle of it like this that's like 1 ounce for maybe $5, or you can get the big one. This one's 8 ounces, and this one's maybe closer to 20. I could be wrong. I really have no idea, to be honest. I'm kind of totally guessing. But it's just a mouth safe, and it tastes like peppermint. It does taste pretty good. Actually, it does not taste bad because it is a higher quality blood. And it's quite thin still compared to some other bloods that I've worked with. But it's a great runny blood, and you can use this for filling inside of wounds. You can use this for dripping. You can use this for splattering. You can use this for literally anything. And it's a very, very dark blood, which personally I really like because I feel dark bloods can look much more realistic. But then again, it also completely depends on the look that you're doing. If I get you guys a quick swatch, you can tell it's still quite light, but it's darker compared to some bloods. For another blood product that I really enjoy and have been really gravitating towards is Mehron coagulated blood gel. This is a thicker blood. It's obviously much thicker. You're not going to be able to tip it upside down. It won't run out of the bottle, but I mean, it's in this like bottle jar type of thing, and it has this little applicator you can get in, scoop up product, and then most people actually do apply it straight to the face. I don't prefer to do that because if I'm doing somebody else's makeup, I like to keep it as sanitary as possible. So I will put it onto a palette most likely, or if you don't have a palette, you can just use a paper plate. It works just as well. And I just apply it onto the paper plate, and I work off of there using brushes, Q-tips, anything, etc. So it is a very, very thick blood, as you can tell when I took it out of the bottle. But this is what it looks like. It's much lighter of a blood. This one is not mouth safe. Really nice, thick, very lighter blood, which is kind of weird for me because usually when I go towards thick bloods, I like darker bloods like Ben Nye scab blood. But I've really been gravitating towards this one, and like I said, it's a lot lighter of a like thick blood. So I really been liking this one. When I like to paint an entire face white, I go towards Ben Nye Clown White Cream Paint, and when I use this, just like to apply this with a little makeup wedge, and it's great because you can just scoop it out with a spatula, which you can see I have a lot of spatula marks. I just scoop it out with a spatula, put it onto a palette, and then take a sponge, usually smear it everywhere, and then kind of tap it in like you're using a beauty blender under your foundation. Or I also like to use a very, very dense kabuki brush to buff it in, like a very dense foundation brush. That works just as well. Usually I gravitate towards a sponge. It gives a more seamless blended look when a kabuki brush can give you some streak marks sometimes because it is such a thick product. So I really like this stuff if you just need a large white base, or if you just in general need some type of white cream paint. So you can tell that whenever I need white, I will always go towards this jar. And then the next product is also a cream paint palette, which you can tell in here, the white in here I barely use because I'm always using this one. So this is just a palette. This specific one's from Imagic. You can get this off of Amazon. It is a 12 color flash palette. It's kind of like a dupe for the Makeup Forever 12 color flash palettes, which are $100. This is maybe around $15. I really, really like this stuff. I saw a review on it on YouTube with comparison swatches towards the Makeup Forever one, and it's the exact same, looks the same, consistency is the same, product amount's the same, color's the same, everything's the exact same, which is why I would rather buy the cheaper version because $100 on that type of palette, kind of a lot, although I am going to show you guys a more expensive palette in a second. But you get a large variety of colors in here. When I first started off with body painting and stuff, I was using this palette to create all my body paints, which you usually use water activated colors for body painting, but I started off with cream paints, which I would not suggest, so I will also give you guys water activated options, but I'm giving you options for all three types, so I guess I can tell you a little bit about that as well. Whenever you're using special effects paints, you're either going to be using water activated, alcohol activated, or cream paints. These are cream paints. They're like a creamy thick foundation. Water activated paints are little cake pans, and you activate them with water. Alcohol activated is pretty much the same thing, except you activate it with 99% alcohol. This is activated with nothing. You use it straight as if it was like a regular cream paint or like a foundation, and you can blend it out. You can use it in a thick amount to create a lot of coverage, or you can use this with blending. You can blend it into the skin. You can just paint with it straight onto your skin. But when I'm using something like this, I prefer using cream paints for special effects wounds and coloring them. Lately I haven't been gravitating towards cream paints though, because I do have alcohol activated paints, which are more expensive, more higher quality, which just make me automatically reach towards them because I have them, so might as well use them. But this is a great starter if you're like starting pretty much, and it works really well. I want to show you guys is water activated paints, and this is just a little palette that I got off of Amazon. These are all Snazaroo body paints. This came with 10 smaller cake pans, which are all water activated, and then 2 larger ones, one in white, one in black, because those are your most frequently used colors. These are the water activated paints I started with. Then I expanded my collection into more professional water activated body paints, but when I started with water activated stuff, this is the stuff I used. This also came with like some glitter gels and like a brush and I don't know, and like sponges and stuff that I don't really use. I pretty much just use these water activated palettes or paints. So this was a great starter because I think it was like $15 or $20 for all 12 colors plus like 2 glitter gels and like a brush and like 4 sponges or something. I don't really remember because this is really all I use, but I will have this linked in the description. You can get this on Amazon. So this was a great steal. This is the Skin Illustrators Zombie palette. This is probably their most famous, most well-known alcohol activated palette. It's very versatile. You can use this for so many things. When you use alcohol activated paints, these are not going to give you full coverage. This is not something you do for body painting. This isn't line work. This isn't details. This is strictly for colors, for special effects goriness, because this will give you a very sheer wash of color. You can of course work it up and get to the right consistency to make these things opaque, but this is not something you want to put completely all over your entire face as like a thick layer of alcohol activated paints like you would with water activated paints. But this is for something like veins, bruises, coloring wounds, and something that's going to give a much more under the skin, natural, like it looks real kind of wound and stuff like that. So that's what I definitely am in love with using this palette for. They all come with 10 colors, and these they retail for $80 to $100 a piece, which can be quite expensive, but when you're using barely any of it, it's well worth it because you're gonna get a lot of use out of these palettes, and they're so amazing, and I just use them nonstop. Every time I do a look, this is the palette I reach for. But yeah, I'm sorry guys, I know that was pretty jam-packed with information. I hope I can cut this video down to a lot shorter, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like this video with a thumbs up, comment down below what you guys think, and as well as subscribe to become a beauty and be part of our beautiful world. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye. Did I just get blood on my face? Oh, but I got something on my face. I think I just got spirit gum on my face. I totally just got spirit gum on my face. And maybe get into it as really like this spirit gum. All you do is you pretty much just I just poured out like half a bottle of spirit gum all over on my counter. Don't know what to do. Again, and keep in mind for next year, I just like hit myself in the face.